Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on this video and I hope you're all having a good weekend so far. My name's Donna and today on my channel it's just going to be a quick video, but I'm just going to speak about what has been happening since the last time I spoke to you on the last video. That was only a couple of days ago. Here in Campbelltown, as far as the abuse that's been carried out on me by the majority of this community and the police. First of all, though, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country and first acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the true custodians of the land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respects to elders past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. So since I spoke to you, which was only a couple of days ago, I have just had abuse from this community coming at me from every single angle. So I just thought I'll get on here now. I just have to protect myself from what's going on. But it's just been relentless, especially when I go out or when I'm on the road. But for those of you who haven't heard my story in the past, my family and the majority of this community here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, the police and other authorities have been carrying out something called MK Ultra mind control on me for quite some time now. If you are not aware of what that is, it is when a large community or a group of people get together and they carry out very cruel abuse tactics on one individual. This is to either make them sick mentally or physically, or sometimes people pass away from this. They also purposely isolate you. They make sure that you have no help whatsoever. So this is what they have done to me, and this is another way they try and get to you. They try and get you to take your own life. They try and get you to lose hope in your life because there is no one there to help you and you are so isolated. So this is what they've been doing. And they constantly send this abuse towards me to try and provoke me into having an emotional outburst or a mental health breakdown or just, a heart attack from the stress that I'm being put through as a result of this. Or they're just trying to make me feel so hopeless that I take my own life. It's a way of taking somebody's life as a large group of people without any of them actually having to, get their hands dirty or anything like that. So they're just abusing as a community constantly, just trying to wear me down in that way. This has been going on for a year now, very intensely. And yeah, they've made sure like everyone's involved. Anyone that I had close to me at all, my whole family's involved, my whole immediate family members, as well as most of the people that live close to me, not all of them, but most of them, and the majority of this community here in Campbelltown is involved. I have reached out to several organisations that are meant to help people that are going through things like this. I've also even reached out to people in the public eye that are meant to help people going through abuse. And I have been turned down by everybody. And this is because the police are probably telling them not to help me, or they're being bribed, because the members of the community that are carrying out abuse, they are being bribed to do this. The reason this is happening to me is because it is a part of a huge police cover-up. My family and the police have been carrying out abuse on me for over 2 years, but around a year ago, the abuse did intensify, and this was after I wrote a letter to the police explaining how I have been treated over the past 9 years while I've been living with family and domestic violence in my life. During that time, there were 12 calls made to the justice system, and on each and every one of those occasions, I was either treated very unfairly or my calls for help weren't followed up at all. And this is because I had family members in the police force, or there were police officers that are connected to my family that have been obstructing justice for a very long time. My family have also stolen an inheritance from me, so this is why they are so invested in being a part of this. Obviously, they don't want to be held accountable for that, and the justice system helped them steal that money as well, so they don't want to be held accountable for that. I also reported a pedophile in 2020. That pedophile is connected to this family as well. Police have done nothing about that person for the simple reason that they are just doing that to cause me psychological pain. So that person is still living in a community and they've done nothing about it. There's also a number of other crimes that there are police officers that have been involved in that are connected to this family. One of them being a very serious and violent crime against women. And that person is just out there right now getting away with it scot-free because they're a policeman. This must just be what police do to people who know about police who have committed crimes. They try and take them out rather than take accountability for what they have done. So they don't want the community to know about how they handled those calls that I made to them when I needed help while I've been living with family and domestic violence either, because domestic violence is such a huge problem here in Australia. There are people passing away from it all of the time. So they definitely do not want the community to know how they dealt with those calls. So right now, my human rights are being abused in some really, really disgusting and horrific ways that no human being should ever have to go through. I'm practically being held prisoner right now. And I'll get to some of the reasons why in a minute, but why I feel like this. Yeah, I'm just being really, really restricted right now with the things that I can do because of this. And as a part of my human rights that are being abused, I have a listening device in my home. I also have one in my car, and I'm also tracked everywhere I go. Everything that I do online is watched. Now, with the listening devices and the things that I'm doing online on my devices, it's not just the police that can listen in and watch what I do, it is the community as well. And there are a lot of people that live very close to me that are involved in this. So it's just so sickening to me to know that, you know, I have God knows who listening in on my house 24 hours a day. And they do this so that they can just keep track of my movements and what I'm doing so that they can try and find ways to carry out abuse. So they're listening in and then they're thinking up things to do and then they're carrying out the abuse and then they're coming back and listening in again to see if it's worked. And I'm an innocent person. I haven't committed any crime at all. All I did was write that letter. And this is what they're doing to me because of that. Oh, and the other crimes as well that they're trying to cover up that I know about. So it doesn't matter if I'm in my home or if I'm on the road driving or if I'm out in a public place. I'm being stalked by people everywhere I go. They send these stalkers towards me. This has been happening since I made the last video. It's just been full on. And I think because they know they're getting close to being caught because I am putting this information out on these videos. I think more and more people are probably talking about what's going on here in Campbelltown You know, rumours are spreading around about what the police have done here and my family members. And I think a lot of the people that have been involved in carrying out this abuse up until now, I think a lot of them are panicking right now, and they're just absolutely like, they're just doing anything. And when I go out, there's not a spare minute where I am not being provoked by another person. When I went out this morning, I had several people try and cause me an accident on the road all the way to where I was going. And then when I arrived at that place, at the shopping centre, I had just people coming towards me from all directions, just trying to provoke me in different ways into just, they want me to have they want me to lash out at them. They want me to have an emotional outburst. This is what they are trying to make me do, because if I do that, well, they, they want to be able to turn around and say that I'm crazy. And the things that they are doing are like what they would, if you didn't know what was going on, you probably wouldn't even notice. But that's because they're doing things in ways where it can be very subtle, like, you wouldn't pick up on it if you didn't know what was going on. And this is so that if I say something about it, I will look crazy. So, and what they're doing, like, they are just so confident about what they're doing. And to me, this just tells me that they must have done this to people in the past and gotten away with it. And yeah, they just never stop. They're also sending traffic up my street constantly, just really loud vehicles, just all unnecessary traffic. This is just to let me know that they're listening in on my home and they're stalking me 24/7. So you can go back and watch my other videos. There's a lot more information on them. I will also put some links in the description box for you for a couple of videos that go into detail about how the police did handle my calls for help while I've been living with family and domestic violence. That one of those videos goes into great detail about how they handled those calls, and it'll let you know why they don't want that information getting out. And there's also another link that I'll leave in the description box, and it explains what happened to me when I was taken to the Campbelltown Public Hospital earlier this year and held there against my will, where I was put through horrific abuse by the doctors, the nurses, and the patients that they had there waiting to carry out that abuse on me. This is just all just to try and practically take me out, just so these police and this family can get away with what they've done. So, as I mentioned before, a lot of the people that live close to me have been involved in this. I think these people were promised a large sum of money or something like that after something happened to me, or if I got sick and couldn't take care of myself for any reason. I think they thought they were getting a large sum of money, and these people have just done so much over the past year. It's just unbelievable, because they were so confident that they thought they would be getting away with this. But now, everyone's finding out about what they are doing and still doing. And a lot of them just, I think because they've been listening in on my home for so long, they feel entitled to listen in on my home and just abuse me. So I have no choice but to make these videos just to protect myself right now and just let people know just how disgusting these people are. It's like they're obsessed. All they do is listen in on my home. They do it for entertainment. So what I'm calling for right now is my human rights back. I want this listening device taken from my home. I want it removed. Because as I said, no one should have to live like this. And what this community is doing right now, it's no different to torturing a person to death and just watching them die a slow death. But because they're doing it as a group, they think that that's okay. So when they are all caught for what they're doing, I think they should all be treated like murderers. They should all receive the full extent of the law of what a murderer would get. And this includes my family as well, that have stood back and watched they have watched me suffer through all this. They have just been sitting back waiting for something to happen to me. So they should all be treated like murderers. And it's the same with the people that live around me that are involved. They have just been sitting back waiting for something to happen to me. And because it's not, they're panicking. So they're just doing more and more and more. And it's just the same when I go out. It's like they think to themselves, right, we've got this window of opportunity, she's going to be out for an hour or so, and the abuse just doesn't stop for that whole hour that I'm out. There is not a minute that goes by when I'm not being provoked in some way by another person. So I don't care if I've got to get on here every day and tell the world what these disgusting people that are involved in this are doing. So if you've watched this whole video, I thank you very much. If you can, I would ask if you could please like the video, share the video. I'd really appreciate it, because I need people to know what's going on here in Campbelltown right now, because who knows how many people they have done this to in the past and gotten away with it. Who knows how many people may have to go through something like this in the future. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye for now, and God bless.